All right, so this is new. I just came down here. I was showing you the deer tracks, but check out these tracks. See that? See that? See that? Look at that. That sure looks like bear tracks to me. Right over here, that looks like that may be a dwelling right there. We have this with the door in place. We've got this cave right here, and we're gonna have to check it out. Hey everyone, it's Dave. I am out on another explore today to a canyon. You really can't see it, but I can see it through the trees right over through here. You kind of see it. So we're getting close. I've been going about 2.2 miles so far. I got just a little bit further, but I'm excited about this canyon because there's no access close to it. And those are the kind I like best. I'm having to walk, just navigate cross country. I just picked an azimuth and shot it, and I'm going to that till I hit the edge, and then I'll go left or right depending on how it looks, and then we'll just start methodically checking out the canyon as we go. If I see anything, I'll let you know. As we get closer to the edge, of course, you guys are going to be there with me, and it should be a good time today. It's a little bit cooler today, and the wind's blowing, so I'll probably have to use a wind mic. But here, let me flip it around so you can kind of see where we are. Kind of get a little bit of a sense. You can see how it drops there. Everything looks different on Google Earth, so you have to get on the ground to really kind of figure it out. I'm just coming up on the canyon edge, and this, man, I couldn't have picked a better spot if I'd was planning it. But this right here will give me a view of the far side, and then the start of the canyon here, and then also the start of the canyon right over here. So already I'm seeing some hangovers of the rock. So we're going to, I'm going to take out my binos, and then we're going to start checking it out, because we may run into something right here. Well, it's been a bit. I've been walking on the cliff face for a while, but finally, persistence pays off, I guess. On the opposite cliff face, we've got the remains of something there. Probably a granary with that low ceiling tucked back in there. But right over here, that looks like that may be a dwelling right there. And the interesting thing is, the reason I was working my way down here was because of, if I can find it, right here, I saw that rock caught my eye, but then it's right behind it. I don't know if it picks it up, but there's stacked rock. So there's three things right there. So let's work our way down and see if we can get there. So we're down in the river bottom, and this probably flowed full time back in their day, at least the creek part of it. And I think we're going right up here. It's hard to tell. Well, you can tell the deer use this to move up and down. Took me a bit to find a way down from up there. I think I'm going to go right up here. Right through there. All right, so this is new. I just came down here. I was showing you the deer tracks, but check out these tracks. See that? See that? See that? Look at that. That sure looks like bear tracks to me. something to be aware of. I hadn't. I knew there were panthers in the area, but I didn't know there were any bears. But these are definitely bear tracks. They've. It's been since the last rain, so it's been a week or so. But look at that. Doesn't look like it's a huge bear, but good to know. That's why you always gotta pay attention to your surroundings and know what's around you. So hopefully he's not too hungry, but there's not a lot to eat out here. I don't know what he's eating. Okay, I'm coming up on it, and boy, you can see it doesn't look like much, but right here you can see where the mud is, and there's a rock up there. I guess from a distance it actually looked like more, and then right here you can see that's all collapsed in, and there's parts of the roof there. But as I'm walking up to it, so right here in front of it, look right down here. It's a piece of gray pottery right here. Oh, it's thick too. Oh, and it's got a design on it. This is older piece of gray pottery. Isn't it amazing how they would decorate the inside of the bowl like that? That even back then, people liked nice things, you know? That's pretty amazing. All right, so let's walk up here, and I'll keep an eye out for anything else on the ground. But that's great that we found something, because that really confirms it. Boy, this has been hit hard by the weather, so there's really not much left standing. And see, this is what I was talking about, that it's mudded in and you've got a rock still on top of it. But most of all, this has fallen away. And looks, you've got another piece of pottery right here. Again, it's just gray. Just check around this corner here. Doesn't seem to be anything. And it looks like, I'm trying to stay out of the shadow. Is that rock or is that, I thought that was the top edge of a bowl, but it's just rock. So you got this. This was probably a small granary at one time. And hard to say what was here because this is all collapsed off. And I'm seeing pottery right there. Oh, quite a bit of pottery. Look at all this. So there's another piece. So this was a structure at one time. The wood was probably part of the roof structure. And this was the front of it here. Boy, it's really hard to tell. I mean, you can see the water's come down and really done a lot of damage. But you've got some smoke stained rocks over here. Boy, and here, let me take my glasses off. So look at this. Yeah, this was definitely used for a while. Look at let me zoom that in a little bit. Look at all the pottery and jasper shards. Just a ton of it. This whole area is covered. Look at all that. It's just pottery piece after pottery piece after pottery piece. And it looks like there's charcoal. That's an old big piece of, yeah, so this looks like was their fire area right there. You can see there's charcoal in there, and the rocks have been burnt. And this must have been where they broke all their pottery, because there's a lot of it right here. And there's a lot of the jasper too, jasper shards and pieces of jasper. Just a ton of pottery. Wow, the big pieces too. Wow, so that's neat. So this must have been, wow, man. I'm seeing, I'm seeing pottery from, seeing the old thick type to this basket weave type here to some other stuff that's been decorated. So it looks like it spanned a bunch of, and is that an arrowhead or spearhead right here? No. It'd be very unusual if it was. I've only very seldom found something like that. I'm gonna look for tools here in a minute, but let's just keep scanning the site because it's full of pottery. It looks like this was another room. So, oh man, there's more. Wow. So, yeah, looking here, I'm just kind of showing you. There's just a bunch of pottery in there. You've got this big wall here. And then you've got these upright timbers still buried here. So I'm wondering if this wasn't this little area wasn't a pen, or was it helping to hold up the rocks? It's hard to say. But this was a pretty extensive complex right here. And a multi-generational use from the amount of pottery that's here. And man, it's still, you can tell nobody's been here because nobody's picked up anything. And there's pottery everywhere. Holy smokes. And then we have another structure here. And it's something, oh, it looks like the doors on it. Oh, man. All right, but first we'll go look in here. This is all collapsed down. Wow. So this was another structure here. Look at this. Got these timbers here. Goes back underneath there really well. You have this with the door in place. So let me very gently open that up so that we can look in there. All right. Yep. So let me extend this. Hopefully it's light enough in there that you'll be able to see, because I'm not going to go in there. Wow, look at that. Show you around the corner here, because I can't see it. That's pretty cool that the door is still intact. All right, let's put it back. All right, all sealed up. Wow, that's really neat. Looks like we got a grinding stone left on here too. So they closed the door, set down their grinding stone, and went out somewhere and never came back. That's pretty amazing. And a big area here. But we're not done yet because I saw that other place over there. And I want to check too for handprints or any kind of petroglyphs if anything was. Oh, wait, look right here. I'm seeing it. Check it out, you guys. Look in this rock here. Now, this is all filled in with mud, but you can see where they've used it for sharpening stakes all along there. All right, give me a minute, and I'm gonna walk back through and see if I spot anything. If I do, I'll bring it to you. I'm really curious about these upright logs, and they weren't just little logs. I mean, these were substantial. I'm thinking they were support, or this was just enclosed for animals or something, maybe. And then there's more down here, so you know, it was a lot wider. Really extensive. And the amount of pottery here, man, is just phenomenal. Really tells a tale. So even, you know, it's interesting that the water hasn't swept it all away, because look at, I mean, you can see the pottery there, the flint shards. But here's, man, I mean, look at these big pieces of pottery. Very thick too, which leads me to believe that's older. Here we got a flint shard. Wow. Just all kinds of stuff everywhere. All up in here. I mean, just everywhere. Wow. I mean, just piles of it there. That almost looks like a midden pile, like a garbage pile that they just piled everything in. And as the water's washed away, it's just revealing more and more. This definitely was the fire area. You've got the fire-stained rocks, and you've got a lot of charcoal in this area. All right, that was pretty cool. Yeah, so here, let me show you what originally caught my eye. It was pretty neat to find something with a sealed door. You just don't see that too often. But let me flip the camera around. So this is what originally caught my eye about this area, was that granary right there. I could see those stacked rocks behind that big rock. So we'll go over there and check that out. And then we're going to have to start making our way home. We got to get up there somehow and then get back. I think it's pretty interesting that this is tucked way back in here and concealed really well, whereas the main dwelling there didn't seem to be. But maybe it just wasn't practical. You still have the sticks that were support. So this would have been the doorway right here. And then that would have all been sealed. You can still see the mud. And it's kind of all come down. Very neat. You can see the mud is getting washed away, and as that does every year, this is where they end up. So, man, I'm glad we're documenting this. I thought this was pretty neat. Let's walk through here. Ah, look. So, wow. So there was some kind of a structure here one time. Look, here's the doorway right here. And I wonder, wow, that's interesting. I wonder how high it came, or if it came just this high and then they finished it off with wood that would have, let me get over here out of the wood that would have leaned up against the top of the boulder there. Wow, that's pretty, man, this is old too. Look how old these rocks are. This is like old, not like the mud built stuff over there. Wow. Wow, you know what? We're gonna keep going around the corner a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit more to this place. Look at that. Wow. Let me look at these rocks real quick too. I honestly have to say, this is the first time I've seen a setup like this. It's kind of unusual. Huh. We'll look down a little bit, see if anything washed down there. Now I'm wondering if there wasn't something here also at one time under this underhang. Yeah, so it's hard to tell. You've got a standing rock over there, and then you have this kind of a straight line running here where it looks like they built up the foundation to make it level. So maybe there was a shelter here, and then you've got those pieces of wood that are just laying there randomly. Which, if there had been a roof on it, that would have been part of the roof structure. And then you have this old wall there. Well, I'm continuing to move along this cliff face. I'm actually looking for a way down, and there may be a way down there, but we've got this cave right here, and we're going to have to check it out. All right, I just got up here to the cave. I just climbed from down there. It's pretty far down there. Look at it. It's pretty tall in here. Wow. Look, it opens up even more. Well, this is pretty neat. These are the kind of places where you wish, you had petroglyphs carved in, because they would be really protected in here. But it's pretty cool, even if that isn't here. And we'll keep going and looking for a way down. But that's got to be one of the cooler caves that I've seen. Huh, very neat. So this is kind of a neat way to end the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd really like to help out the channel, there's a link in the description of buy a cup of coffee. And if you click that, you'll help us out, help keep us out here on the ground. So, hey, I appreciate everybody watching and all your support. And thanks for coming along.